Welcome back to the Creatively Challenged podcast for Monday, February 12th. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Nolan, and I'm here alongside Mike Stuglis.
Hello, Ryan.
You comfy this morning?
Am
You
I
having a
what?
good morning? You comfy?
Yeah. Actually, no.
You're not.
That dog that constantly bothers us was whining, right, Dan?
Well, after Kingdom Hearts 3 had two trailers drop at like 5 p.m. Japan time, but 2:30 a.m. here, and I did breakdowns of the trailers. It was very late when I went to bed, or very early, if you'd like to call it, and I didn't get not 3 hours of sleep before I was woken up by the dog. It's every morning. It's like fucking clockwork, 7:30 to 8 a.m., and it doesn't stop till like 10.
Jesus. You guys get the most of it. I don't know. Like,
She
It's
lives.
on this side.
It's
This
on
is
that
bad.
side.
This is bad radio. The girl who owns the dog is right above my room.
Mm. Mm.
I hear it running around too.
They're terrible neighbors.
They're awful upstairs neighbors. If they listen to this podcast, they can go fuck themselves. And we really, I mean, all seriousness here, like we gotta do something. Like I'm gonna call the office and be
yeah,
like,
we'll
I'm
do something.
setting a noise complaint. This is ridiculous. It's every day that I wake up before my alarm because of this dog.
That is Dan. It's ridiculous, Stewart over there, and Dan, I want to welcome you to the Go Fuck Yourself podcast, where we shout out who should go fuck themselves. Call on in, tell us who should go fuck themselves,
Our upstairs neighbors.
yeah, especially them.
Yeah.
How are you, Dan? Besides non-sleep.
Yeah, just exhausted. Other than that, I'm like pretty excited. I mean, the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers were awesome. If you want to go check out my reaction to those, you can go to my YouTube page.
Nice
He-
plug.
Yeah,
He was excited.
yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert: I was excited.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what else I'm excited about:
What?
doing this podcast.
Me too. I would hope you are. Well,
Oh God.
what this really is, for the uninitiated, is each and every week here on Creatively Challenged, we talk about entertainment news, do a recurring topic, review a movie, and discuss a main topic that we bring to this $34 card table. And with that, do you guys want to get into the news?
I just realized we didn't assign a story,
No, we didn't.
so
We'll
let's
just do it on the
So
fly.
Just
let's
do it. We'll
just
just
do
do a
it on
round
the
table.
fly.
We'll just do a
Yeah,
round
round
table.
table.
All right, we'll do
Yeah.
a snake draft
All
here
right.
with the stories.
David Benioff and DB Weiss, who are I don't want to say creative showrunners for Game of Thrones, have now signed on to write and I thought it was produce, but on here we have direct. Either or, it doesn't really matter. They will be writing and directing several Star Wars films. Personally, I would have liked to seen them tackle a long-term television show, but that's just me. What do you guys think of this news?
I think if there's any opportunity for Kit Harington to become a Star Wars actor, this is it, and I'm very excited about it. Because I watched this video of the Battle of the Bastards, but with lightsabers, where they edited every arrow to be like blaster fire and every sword to be lightsabers.
That's absurd.
They do that a lot. There's a lot of those videos on YouTube. But like Jon Snow, like wielding a blue lightsaber is like awesome, and I want to see that happen.
And Kit Harington just has the mold of a Star Wars character. His
I think
look.
he does, dude.
His
Like I
look.
think he could like lead a like band of Jedi if they wanted to do like an old Republic kind of thing.
Mhm.
Cause like, dude, like Game of Thrones like is a kind of like a beginning of time show. Now here are very loose connections. Like if there was gonna be an old Republic movie, I think these guys would be good at it because I feel like they're good at like like medieval lore and the Sith and the Jedi of the old Republic are kind of like the medieval lore of the Star Wars universe.
I actually see Kit Harington wielding a red lightsaber.
Ooh,
When I
you think
actually
he'd be
think about it,
bad?
I think he'd be he has the look for a good bad guy. He actually looks a lot
Yeah.
like Adam Driver, much better looking. But
Oh yeah.
but he has that, the black hair and the long curls, and I could just see it working as a villain. But this isn't about Kit Harington. It's about these two guys signing on to write and direct. And I actually think it's awesome. I like that these guys will be involved.
Yeah. I was just looking on IMDb while you guys were talking, and they've only, between the two of them, directed 4 episodes. And obviously, we all know they could write. But it'd be interesting to see them tackle 3, co-directing both of them. And I mean, sure, the 4 episodes I don't know off the top of my head, but like this is definitely going to be a test for them because I don't know if the two of them have done many feature films or anything. But It's cool, and Dan's right. If it is the Knights of the Old Republic type thing, like that would be awesome because that's what they're great at. That's
Yeah.
what they could write. So like a drama that is more old Jedi, old Sith, really cool. But we don't know what it is yet.
Big time.
I still wish it was a TV show, just
Oh, yeah.
because that's their mold.
Yeah,
anyway.
but like they are working on several TV shows already for like the Disney streaming service. So we'll. There's so much Star Wars like coming. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
It's taken up a lot of like almost every year we're getting Star Wars now. It's taking up the box.
that's what they
office.
said they want to do is a Star Wars movie every year.
Just
That's
non-stop Star Wars movies.
Hmm.
Speaking of Star Wars movies, we got the Han Solo trailer dropping last week during the Super Bowl. Well, it was like a little teaser during the Super Bowl and then an actual like full-length teaser trailer like the next day.
Mhm.
And I almost regret saying anything bad about it because this trailer was awesome. Like I really enjoyed this trailer. It made this movie look like it's going to be awesome. Like it looks like it's just going to be so much fun. And you know, granted in the past like we immediately talked about it after we all kind of like agreed how cool the trailer looks that like Suicide Squad's trailer was good. There's still a chance this movie is terrible, but the trailer made it seem like it's just going to be a fun action-packed Star Wars movie about Han Solo, and it looks really enjoyable. Like I'm excited about it more now, despite it being 3 months away from release, and just getting a trailer now.
I think with Ron Howard, you're absolutely gonna get great visuals. I mean, he is a visual storyteller, and the trailer had that. The shot with the Falcon spinning and like hitting the opposing pilots or whatever and ships, that was really cool. There was a lot of really cool stuff they showed, but I still am really hesitant on the story because it had the generic "I'm putting a team together, you ought to join it," and that seems to be happening way too much
Well, it's gonna
in
be
just movies nowadays.
I feel like it's gonna be like a Star Wars heist film though. Like there's like a robo train. Like it could be like a train robbery movie or something like that. It looks really cool.
Rogue One was kind of a heist movie too.
Yeah. And that was great. So.
Yeah, Rogue One was great, but
It was a really fun trailer, but again, it's way too early to say if this movie's going to be awesome. We don't even know. A great trailer,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it could be a horribly put together mess. There could be flat performances. Because let's think about what did we get out of this trailer. We got some really cool visuals and voiceover by two characters, one about Han Solo and the other with Emilia Clarke talking about Han Solo. So that's maybe two scenes of dialogue put over this. We don't really know where the plot's going. We don't really know what other characters are involved. Well, we saw many, but like we don't know how much they're going to be fleshed out. So it's very early to say if this is going to be an amazing Star Wars movie or not. But that's with any trailer that comes out.
the scene was really cool, and it was like a second of Han Solo was surrounded by like a bunch of guards, and you just saw him like unbutton his holster, and I was like, "That's gonna be fucking awesome," because he's probably gonna kill like every single one of those guys. But yeah, that I thought that was awesome. But again, that was more to the point of they just keep showing visuals. I don't know how the
Right.
performances are gonna be. I'm
Yeah.
sure Woody will be fine, but I'm really hesitant on Alden Ehrenreich. I really don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
It is a
I
huge
think
role.
everybody is, but Donald Glover looks just like Billy Dee.
He's gonna be great.
He's
gonna be great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, Rye. It's asinine to kind of jump out of your seat and say like this movie's gonna be amazing. The trailer was amazing, and let me reiterate that the trailer was amazing and got us all a little bit more excited for this film, but that in no means that this movie is going to be good just because the trailer was good. Again, example A, Suicide Squad. They got the guy who edited the trailer to edit the entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's not the wise thing to do. So, let's just be excited for Solo moving forward. I'm way more excited for it now than I was before, and here's hoping that the movie's good.
I'm happy that it's in a couple months too, actually.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so
No.
that layover gets long.
Something to look forward to at the end of
Yeah.
this semester.
Here's a question. We know that we don't always know that a good trailer means a good movie, but does a bad trailer always guarantee a bad movie?
No,
No.
Definitely
Do you
not.
know anything off the top of your head?
Not
That's
off
a
the
lot to
top
put
of my
on you.
head, but there's definitely been some movies to where it's like that doesn't look good, and it turns out all right.
It can hurt it though. Like people will say, "Oh, that trailer was dumb. Let's not see it."
A lot of horror movies have bad trailers,
Mm.
but a lot of horror movies stink too. So
It's true.
I'm trying to think of one.
yeah,
Like,
off the top of
one
my
where
head,
like
It's
not
hard to
easy.
the
do on the
trailer
spot.
was terrible, but the movie was good.
That's a
I
lot
feel
to
like it
think about.
might be a superhero movie. Cause like Ant-Man at first looked really
Yeah.
gimmicky.
Yeah.
Ant-Man looked kind of stupid, and then I saw Ant-Man and I was like incredibly shocked at how good it was.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good example.
So like maybe the first Ant-Man, yeah.
Ooh, I thought the Daredevil TV series trailer looked corny the first time I saw it.
What was corny about it?
I didn't know the story as much as you did, but him walking around in like the black garb before he had his uniform, I thought
Yeah.
that looked cheesy. I thought that was his uniform for the show. So I was like,
Oh.
oh, this is going to be low budget. Fuck this. And then I heard how great the show was and I watched it. And since I've gone back and watched the trailer and I'm like, oh, it's actually a good trailer. I was just being an asshat.
Yeah. Well, anything at first could you could do that face value judgment.
Mhm.
That's fair, and it's not really like once you watch the show, that costume's like cool, but just glancing at it, given like the amazing costumes we've been spoiled with over the past decade, like that's nothing spectacular, not at all. So it makes sense. But everything on that,
Yeah.
we got a lot of teasers this week. We got a teaser trailer for Sony's Venom, which stars Tom Hardy. We just got a new trailer this week. It's the first one. We also got a poster drop. What do you guys think of this trailer?
It showed nothing. It showed the symbiote a couple times and Riz Ahmed standing over it, right? That was in the trailer. And you get Tom Hardy like in a, what was it, like a CAT scan or something, or like an MRI, and he just starts
was
like flipping out.
Being
and that was a bit-
analyzed of
Yeah.
some kind. I assume it's post symbiote attack because he just starts freaking out. I assume that's gonna be like the first transformation scene.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm guessing that we got so little because they're so early in the stage of filming and probably the effects, because the Venom suit takes a lot. It's like moving and stuff. It's a cool suit, but it probably takes a lot to edit too.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised we got nothing, but it showed like almost zero.
Bare bone.
Yeah, bare bone.
For
Like-
those that don't know, sorry to interrupt. Were you done there?
Mhm.
For those that don't know, Venom is a Spider-Man villain, and Sony still had the rights to him even after they passed Spider-Man onto Marvel. And there's been apparent sightings of Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man in the Marvel universe, on the set of Venom. So it's unspoken right now if they're going to connect it to Marvel's universe, but he is, for all intents and purposes, a Spider-Man villain, but we're getting a solo movie here.
We
Doesn't
are
seem to
we
involve
are
him.
getting a solo movie.
We're getting that, and then there's the Venom movie.
Yeah.
I think that might be a post-credits tie-in. If Tom Holland's in it, it's not. I don't think it'll be in the main storyline. I think it'll be like.
I
in a
think maybe,
post-credits
but
thing.
that silhouetted person standing over the symbiote, is that for sure Riz Ahmed? Because I thought it kind of like looked like Tom Holland.
I'd have to rewatch it.
Yeah,
it
but
was
I think the internet would have exploded if somebody
Yeah.
like realized it was Tom Holland. So it's probably not.
Mhm.
But that makes me excited. But I didn't hate the trailer, but like it's just bare bone. There's very little to get excited about, which is like this is kind of like the opposite of the Han Solo trailer. Like it just kind of doesn't show a lot. It doesn't show Venom at all. Like just kind of shows Tom Hardy. Like if you didn't like see the end title card of this trailer, like you'd think it's some like weird like thriller with Tom Hardy. Like you would have no idea that it's a superhero movie.
Yeah.
So, just bare bone. I mean, there's not really much to talk about because it's just very basic. Doesn't like give away anything. Just kind of shows Tom Hardy screaming a couple of times. Ooh, there was this video of Tom Hardy that he put up on like his Snapchat story of him like using an athletic cup, and he was like talking as Bane to his dog.
I was showing Mike that the other day.
Yeah,
It
that was more entertaining than the Venom trailer, in my opinion.
what was I trying to think of?
It's all right. No
It's-
rush.
It's gone. It's gone.
Oh,
It's gone. I might think of it later. But
it's gone.
Your opinion of the trailer?
yeah, I was thinking of something and I thought about the dog. So it's gone.
Tells you how captivating the dog was.
Yeah.
Yeah. the fuck. The trailer was like it, as Dan said, like if that could have been like a cop movie.
Yeah.
That could have been
Mhm.
like an FBI thriller, and it did. Oh, here we go. It did like nothing to show that it was original, because as it like that was you would never guess that's a superhero movie. It looked like a generic cop movie, and it hasn't shown itself to be anything to like subvert the normal like superhero movie trailer. It was even less than that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it spells bad things for the movie so far, but as we just discussed, bad trailers don't necessarily mean bad movies. That is all I have.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair. We didn't put it on here, and I just remembered that the Westworld teaser was also during the Super Bowl,
That's
and
cool.
that was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. I loved the little like cover of Kanye West "Runaway."
Mm,
That's a great song.
With the bull charging the guy,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Westworld's coming in April.
that's gonna be badass.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but that is not Venom, and I'm assuming we have nothing else to say on Venom.
Nah, I'm done.
Yeah. Barebone trailer, barebone discussion about the trailer.
Yeah, there's nothing to discuss.
No.
Almost.
Oh, you sound like a parent with your robe on. There's nothing to discuss.
We're done here.
Yeah,
I'm wearing a robe.
he is, and he's drinking his coffee. Like he waited up all night for his kid to come home, and his kid never texted him back.
Oh, I was so bad with that as a kid.
Oh,
Like you guys ever get from your parents like that text me when you get there?
Mhm.
I always forgot.
Me too.
It was hard to remember that as soon as you're like hanging out with your friends.
I
But
wasn't that bad at it, but my mom's a sweetheart. But like she'll still wait up for like me and Sean when Sean and I are like out, and we're over 20 years old now. So it's just kind of like,
mom's worried.
okay, yeah, like go to bed, we'll be fine.
Mike, what's our next story?
The sequel for Deadpool has finally got a trailer as well, the same week as Solo. Fucking imagine that. Even though they come out between like weeks between each other. This trailer was awesome. It was exactly like the first Deadpool. It had Ryan Reynolds being original in it. It made a joke at visual effects, which I really enjoyed. Josh Brolin looks awesome. Obviously, he's fucking Josh Brolin. I do have one qualm about the movie. The guy who directed the first one, what's his name, Tim Miller or
Tim
something
Miller.
like that. He said that he left the project because of creative differences, and he thought that they were going more upscale with the budget, and they weren't focusing as much on the story. That so far, the movie looks great. Everyone's hyped about it. The marketing's been great for it. But this movie did look like it had a bigger budget, so it is noticeable that I could see where he was coming from, and we'll wait to see. But everything now looks fantastic, I think.
Hmm.
But I did notice that.
He might have had something smaller scale in mind, and they wanted to push forward Deadpool and expand it. So anything could happen, and I don't think we'll ever know.
Because I think the one of the coolest parts about Deadpool is like the first one. It kind of did feel like it was like an indie movie almost.
An indie for a superhero movie.
Yeah. It was kind of like it kind of paved the road for Logan to be both rated R and kind of feel like less like a superhero movie and more like a drama. And so this trailer like just showed more of the same though. I felt like it still kind of had the same vibe despite a different director and despite a bigger budget, because it's still Ryan Reynolds like running promotion for this movie. Like he gets to direct every like little clip of Deadpool that you've seen so far. Ryan Reynolds has like done that himself. Like he runs promotion. And now this is the first kind of Disney Marvel like Fox Marvel like trailer that we've gotten since that since that deal was announced, other than the Avengers trailer. But immediately there were Disney references with Deadpool dressing his action figure up as Sheriff Woody from Toy Story. And then he took a shot at Thanos. He said Thanos' line from the Avengers trailer. He said, "I'll do this myself."
They made fun of Justice League too.
And he made fun of Justice League. And it just looks so cool and so funny. And I'm so excited for it. And, like, just God bless Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. That's, like, the best thing ever. I'm so happy that, like, obviously that the first movie's good, but then like the promotion for this has been so funny, and this trailer is very like positive, headed towards the movie. Like it was there was any bad press about it beforehand. Like it's been fine during its whole promotion season, but now that it's in full swing, like I'm so excited for this movie as well. Like May is insane with how many movies are in May. In 3 consecutive weeks, we have Solo, The Avengers, and Deadpool.
It's gonna be a year.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we have reviews coming for those in May.
What's unfortunate
when
is
they
like
come.
there's gonna be like one. There's always one. There's gonna be one superhero movie that just like stinks this year though,
Probably.
and that's upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like there's Black Panther, Avengers, Deadpool, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Captain Marvel, and Venom.
It's a lot to digest.
Venom's on the bottom right.
I hope it's Venom. If we're talking about the other movies,
Yeah.
you know, like if we have to pick one of those to be bad, I hope it's Venom.
Because if Sony fucks this up, then they're just gonna be like, "All right, you guys got this. Take it, Marvel.
It's like, take
Get out of here."
all of it.
It's gonna be a garage sale of all the shit they own. We're talking about the Deadpool trailer. This
Yeah.
trailer, like once again, they did it with the last movie, but they never really do the thing that I hate, where they tell you the whole movie. This trailer was just like sizzle reel after sizzle reel with jokes that were unrelated to the story, and it was awesome. Like we just got like the vibe that this movie's going for with some visuals of what to expect. Nothing more, nothing less. It's great.
Did you guys notice the fat little Mexican kid who flips off the camera in the middle of the trailer?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Looks good though, Mike. You got
Yeah.
anything?
No, that's it.
All right, that's it. That's the news. Dan, you got a recurring topic?
When
time to
I just
recur.
noticed all 3 of us are very tired. Like we'll like end off sentences with like, yeah, but it looks pretty good.
Oh, we are.
We are exhausted. All right, so moving on from the news, we're heading into our recurring topic of this week: underrated, overrated. Again,
Ain't that something?
isn't
A
that
thing like that.
crazy that this just keeps boomeranging back to us like it's some sort of recurring topic?
This joke
This
is beginning
joke
to
is
recur.
not going to get old. Even this joke is recurring. We should call it recurring joke.
All right, let's move.
All right, but underrated, overrated. Ryan and I made a list this morning, each of us, and we didn't put it on our Google Doc, so there's more of a shock value when we're reading these. So I'll start with my list, and then we'll go back and forth.
Let's do it.
All right, underrated, overrated. Muffins.
Because you were eating a muffin while you wrote this.
Yep. This was pre-coffee when I wrote down muffins because I was eating a muffin. But underrated, overrated muffins.
Oh, I'm a huge muffin guy. Underrated. I love the muffin, especially a chocolate chip muffin or the double chocolate, which you were having. I'm in. That's breakfast right there.
Oh yeah.
With some milk.
Oh yeah. There's a territory muffins cross where they end up turning into basically cake, and I am so happy that they do.
That's
Because like
true.
the double chocolate muffin, that is chocolate cake,
Yeah.
and it's really good. Even the simple like a blueberry, lemon poppy seed, even that's a.
Lemon poppy seed is so good.
It's
dude.
like they're all really good, but you have to make it moist, because if it's a dry muffin, get out of here.
Yeah, what are you doing?
And
Yeah.
muffin bottoms, I'm gonna say, are underrated too.
The stumps.
Like the stumps, not as good as the top, but like it balances out.
Stumps
you
make
need
it
the yin and
harder
the
to
yang.
eat though.
What you bite in, you don't divide and conquer, right? You just fucking put it in
yeah,
your
you
face.
gotta-
I divide it. It's way easier to eat, especially with big ones.
Well, usually like the muffins I get aren't like as big as my hand.
Mhm.
So like, oh, if Sam's Club and or Costco wants to give us money, the double chocolate muffins are amazing from Sam's Club / Costco. So only get those muffins if you think muffins are overrated, because they certainly are underrated as a breakfast food.
Oh yeah. And they've always got those in the cereal ads when it's part of like a balanced breakfast. They get the OJ and the cereal and like a muffin and a piece of fruit. No one ever has a balanced breakfast
No.
like that.
What are those little like muffin bags? You know what I'm talking about? They're like the almost like the
Little,
sliders.
little
Yeah,
bites or
they're
whatever.
little
Those things are
Debbie bites or
badass,
whatever.
dude.
Yeah.
They're really moist. Those are good.
And
get
they
like
have
3.
the little brownie bites.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Those were insane.
dude.
Well, my next one. Are we doing back and forth? Is that what you
Yeah.
said? All right, my next one. Another food item. Hershey bars.
Oh.
Underrated, overrated. What do you guys think?
Overrated.
I agree.
Hershey bar. Obviously, it's the classic. I'm not saying Hershey's chocolate sucks because it doesn't, but I think just the straight up Hershey bar is overrated. Like, I'm not going into a candy store and just getting like one Hershey bar.
Mhm.
Like, what am I, a kid from 1920?
It costs 5 cents.
No, since then, dude, they've put peanut butter inside the chocolate bar.
Yeah.
I'm all in for that. But Hershey bar, like, dude, like if I'm going for like straight up milk chocolate, like Nestle bars I think are like better.
Hmm.
I know Hershey chocolate might be like a little bit more like, high quality than a Nestle chocolate bar or a Palmer chocolate bar. It's amazing. Even though there's like terrible like low quality chocolate, I prefer those over Hershey bars straight up. Like I just kind of feel like the chocolate tastes better, probably because it's pumped with more sugar and bullshit. But I don't know, I just like straight up Hershey bar overrated.
Mike?
Because of the variety of other candies that exist, I'm gonna go overrated. But I do enjoy a Hershey bar. I do,
Okay.
but I just think there's better candy out there.
Okay, for sure.
Like those giant ones, man. They make like 1 pound Hershey bars. Like who's got the time or the stomach for that?
Brave men and women.
Mm.
Brave men and women, Dan. I think like Dan, you were getting into it. I think it is like on the lower rung of chocolate bars in terms of quality. I don't like. I think if you're gonna eat just straight up chocolate instead of like a candy bar, the Hershey bar is like total shit chocolate. Like if you get a Dove bar, that's already much better. I think that's also owned by Hershey, but like it's a better chocolate, and there's like way better ones above that. So I would say if you're going for just chocolate, get more bang for your buck. Upgrade, man. It's not good.
The European chocolate is so good.
Yeah.
Like, you ever have a Toblerone?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Those are amazing. Like, I wish like each Toblerone bar didn't cost like an arm and a leg, but like they're so good.
They all shit on American chocolate and our candy. They all say it's like just horrible quality. Our candy's like good.
Well, Europe, at least we didn't like put Jews in concentration camps.
We
Yeah, because
definitely
those
didn't do
two
that.
things correlate.
Yeah, that's related. Dan, what's your next one?
Mustard. The condiment mustard
Overrated. I hate
from
mustard.
mustard seeds.
Just
Really?
yellow
I fucking hate
or
mustard.
mustard in general?
Let's go yellow. Let's go yellow
Okay.
mustard.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Because if it were just mustard as a general, I was gonna go underrated. But yellow mustard, I think, is the shittiest mustard.
Yeah.
And it's overrated because it doesn't really. It just adds a little twang to anything. But like the other mustards are so much better to pair with like a brat or something. But Jesus Christ, yellow mustard, get out here, overrated.
Mustard as an ingredient, I don't hate because it adds a little something, but by itself, I think it's way too overpowering.
Mustard comes from mustard seeds. Mustard's overrated. Yellow mustard, like, and it's not like I hate it. Like, oh yeah, I put it on Chicago style hot dog. Like, I'll put it on a regular hot dog. Like, it's good. But like, if I'm picking like out of like a condiment line of mustards, I'm going like spicy brown, dude.
Yeah, or like Dijon, honey.
Yeah,
So many better options.
there are way better mustard options than just yellow mustard.
That neon yellow shit.
Yeah, that like restaurants like dump the old mustard into
Yeah.
the new mustard.
Tastes like battery acid.
Oh,
Fuck that. Let's throw out the mustard that we have in our fridge after this episode.
should we?
Let's put it in the trash. We don't even use it.
Yeah, but like we don't use like the ketchup either. But I feel like
No.
every once in a while, like we might need it. Cause like sometimes like when I like get French fries and bring them home or something like that, like I never ask for the ketchup packets because like, we have ketchup. and
I'm
I
just
know it's
talking about
there.
the mustard.
All right, yeah. You know what?
Let's go burn it.
Let's throw the mustard out.
Yeah.
We can do it together. We can all have a hand on the mustard bottle and throw it away.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Apple earbuds. And I'm not talking about the Apple AirPods, those new wireless ones. I'm talking about the ones that come with your phone or the ones that you get with an iPod. They're default, standard Apple earbuds.
When they're at their peak, they're hung and they work really well, but they kind of can get fucked up really easily, and their cords get. I've gone through like 2 or 3 of them since I got my new phone, and that's just because they burn out eventually or the cord breaks or something. So they're overrated because they don't last that long. But in terms of like what they do, I enjoy them.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, like, they get the job done, but, like, they're overrated. Because, like, they always fuck off at some point in
Mhm.
time. Like, they just break for no reason. Like, you could take, like, perfect care of them, and they just break. Just like every other Apple product, I guess. So, like, and they always get, I feel like they get tangled way more than, like, regular headphones. But here's the thing, like, I feel like I only want to wear my workout headphones when I'm working out. I'm never going to bring my Beats, like, outside of my room. So I don't want to like walk around wearing Beats. Like everybody hates that guy. So
Who cares?
I do. And like I don't want to walk around with my Beats because if like people like see that I have them, they might like want to like steal them. It's kind of like why I don't bring my Switch on campus either. Like I just feel like having it like gives people more incentive to like steal my bag if I like walk away from it for a second.
I get that.
Yeah, so it's the same thing with my Beats, but Apple headphones overrated. They just break. They get tangled really easily. But you know, I'm still living on a pair of Apple headphones, so you know, do them while you can. I think that the stupid, like the little, the little ones, like
The AirPods?
yeah, like how have people not lost 1,000 of them?
I'm sure you do.
Like per person, like everybody has to lose 1,000 of those.
I think when you look at the design of them, they look like they're perfectly ergonomic and would fit in your ear so nicely. And then you put it in your ear and it doesn't fit at all. And they just kind of sit in your ear. And I'm just gonna put sound quality aside on this. I think they just don't fit in your fucking ear. And if you work it into your ear, eventually they kind of like work out and
Yeah.
will just fall out no problem. And for that reason, I hate them because no one else makes headphones like these because they don't fit in your ears. And Apple has a cool looking design, but because they work out of your ear because they don't actually fit in real people ears, you can't really hear the music well, and you have to jack it up, and the sound quality is not good because it's not close enough to your ear. They suck. Overrated.
Damages your ears too. Like
Yeah.
once you have to turn that volume up. I agree. But then I had to pull this move the other like my new headphones are fine, but like when my other Apple headphones were dying, like I had to do this maneuver where I grabbed it, wrapped it around the top of my ear, and then put it in because they were falling out too much.
Mhm.
Like the first time this has ever happened, the wind blew my headphones out. The wind.
Mhm.
And it wasn't even like the most powerful wind I've ever listened to music in. It was crazy. It was just like a light gust, and it blew the Apple headphone out of my ear. It was crazy.
Whoa.
Like it was nuts. Like you wouldn't even believe it.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. All right, next one. Octopuses. Or octopi.
As a food?
No, it's an animal.
Oh. Octopus are cool. They're like one of a kind. They're underrated. They stimulated the story of the Kraken. Octopus are cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone rate an octopus in my fucking life, so I've never even thought about this.
This is the first octopus rating podcast.
Now as calamari, ooh, I love it.
Those are squid.
Those squid.
Well, fucking same shit. They're similar.
Tentacles.
They're tentacles.
Kinda.
Tentacles.
I had octopus a couple months ago in Mexico. It's a good food
Octopus.
if you're into that.
Was it
Yeah.
Davy Jones's head?
No, it didn't look like that.
Oh.
Not really, but good food, and they're kind of neat because like you could look up footage on YouTube of octopuses who are on a ship deck, and there's only like those little drainage holes for the water to get out off the deck, and octopuses can actually squeeze even a full size one can squeeze their entire body through it because all their organs are smushy, and all they have to do is go through a hole that's as big as their beak to get, and they could just fit through anything. It's like cats.
Yeah.
How they can fit through fence holes and stuff. they're, I guess, underrated for that, and they could camouflage themselves, and they're cool. But I've never thought to raid an octopus.
They're very cool.
They have 4 hearts.
That's weird.
Yeah, 4 fucking hearts and 8 tentacles.
They have 4 hearts, 8 tentacles. They're underrated, dude. Those things are predators of the sea as much as sharks are.
Remember when we were watching Blue Planet yesterday, and they're like,
That's why I put it on here.
snatching them?
Because those and scuttlefish, like they've got this color changing skin. They can blend into the environment. And octopus, like they can shoot ink, and they're so cool. They're underrated, and if they get you, dude, like they got you. Like you're done. So like these things are like real predators. They're awesome. They've got camouflage. Like, dude, octopuses are so underrated.
It's such a. You thought that you were eating a muffin this morning. You're like, you know what? Octopuses.
Yeah, dude. Because like we were watching Blue Planet last night. I'm like, you know what, dude? Octopuses are cool, man. Like I feel like they
Fuck
don't.
the scuttlefish.
The scuttlefish, dude. You know what? The scuttlefish is a bitch because like he's going in after the crabs and he's like doing his little like
Yeah.
hypnosis thing, and then a shark comes by and the bitch is in a little hideout. He's gonna
fucks
go
with the
after. He's gonna
crabs.
go after the little crab and then not try and like go after a shark. He's a bitch. That's scuttlefish. Octopuses though are underrated. All right. What's the,
Sorry, I was looking up the difference between scuttlefish and cuttlefish because I thought they were the same
Is
thing.
Is it cuttlefish?
Cuttlefish are a thing, but scuttlefish is something like they look
Scuttle is
look exactly the same.
Scuttle is the seagull
Yeah, they're
in
the
The
same.
Little Mermaid.
Were you guys hearing it right on the show?
It was the cuttlefish.
Okay,
the
yeah,
cuttlefish.
because I know
fucked up
the
when I was
cuttlefish
watching
also are
it.
camouflage guys, so it's cuttlefish. People eat those.
Yeah, we were watching this
saying
post bar, so it makes
Scut-
sense. of why we messed
Scuttle,
it up.
Scuttle is the seagull from Little Mermaid.
Did he eat cuttlefish?
No.
The next one, for our overrated, underrated, the Creatively Challenged podcast.
Oh.
Overrated.
Yeah, those guys suck.
We stink.
I think they're so bad. Why do they even do it?
I think they're underrated. I think they give like a more honest review of films than like a lot of like film reviewers out there, and like talking about random topics and stuff at that $34 card table. I think they're pretty good. I think they're underrated.
They're all handsome as shit too.
I know.
What's yours, Dan?
Especially that Mike Stuglis.
Oh, he's a real tall drink of water.
Yeah.
I'm the shortest one here.
You're a tall man. Dude, Dan.
God.
Next one, 7-Up.
I love it as a mixer with Seagrams, so underrated for that reason. By itself, I don't touch it.
I don't dwell in. I'm gonna be stupid and pretentious here. I don't dwell in the realm of regular sodas. Can I include Diet 7-Up?
Yeah.
Okay, love it. It's great. Really good mixer. Good taste too.
You kind of smell.
I do. What? It's my preference. I like the smell.
Well, there are good smells and bad smells.
What do you think, Dan? 7-Up, overrated.
Smells good?
underrated?
Dude, compared to Sprite, 7-Up is way better.
Mhm.
And that's a hot take because like a lot of people don't think so, but 7-Up is way better than Sprite. And I think 7-Up's underrated because now they got LeBron doing Sprite ads and bullshit. Like Sprite stinks, dude. Like 7-Up is so much cooler.
What is Danny McBride drinking in that commercial?
Mountain Dew.
Oh, it's Mountain Dew.
You know what's hilarious? Sierra Mist didn't even come up in this discussion.
Oh, so
No
why?
one cares about Sierra Mist. All
It's
the
like a
lemon
third
lime
world
sodas.
country in terms of pop.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
That's an analogy.
The Serum Mist still exist.
Yeah, it's still real. They rebranded like 6 years ago.
Who like runs them? Because
I'll
7
look it up. I don't
Because
know.
7-Up is like the Dr Pepper company, and Dr Pepper like operates in its own realm.
Oh, Pepsi.
Sierra Mist is Pepsi.
Yeah.
That makes sense why it sucks.
Sprite is.
Sprite is Coke.
That's right. 7-Up is, you said.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Or
Okay.
Dr Pepper is 7-Up. Yeah, I don't know.
What? Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying Dr. Pepper, the soda is 7-Up.
No,
Okay.
like they I think 7-Up might be like the parent company that makes Dr Pepper, or Dr Pepper is the parent company that makes 7-Up.
I got
I know those two are tied together.
you. We done on that one?
Yeah, I said it's underrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potato chips.
What kind? Lay's, Ruffles. What are we
Let's
doing?
go Lay's. The regular old
Regular Lay's with the yellow
regu-
bag.
Regular yellow Lay's.
Overrated.
Ruffles is better.
Oh yeah.
Ruffle,
Ruffles
you
is
need
better.
But like
those ridges.
those are different than like the just potato chip. I'm not including like the fun ridges in that because they're so much better. But just like your textbook regular old potato chip guy.
Oh, overrated. Kettle chips are better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. I like Lay's. I think they're good, but they're a little overrated.
It's almost like
better
the
chips.
Hershey bar of chips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's way better
That's a
ways-
good
That's a
analogy,
great
yeah.
analogy.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much better things, but like it'll suffice.
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like
hot
if the-
dog or sandwich.
Like if there's nothing else to eat and there's the bag of Lay's there, I'm not gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
Lay's suck. Like I'm gonna eat them.
Isn't it always kind of a disappointment when you're at like an event and they're handing out like the hot dogs and like the Pepsi or
And
whatever,
it's just
and then
Lay's.
it's just
It-
Lay's.
It's
You're like,
just
"Fuck."
Lay's or the sour cream Lay's or the barbecue Lay's, and then like all the Cool Ranch Doritos
Yeah.
are gone. There's always like the snacks after the baseball games. You'd get like 10 of those
Yeah.
like a year. Like some parent on the way to the baseball game.
Yeah.
Like God, I'm not gonna rip on parents because that's probably hard. Like I don't want my kid to like play sports. Well, I do. I do want my kid to play sports, but like if that means I gotta be like the snack dad, I'm not doing that.
All it requires is going to the fucking store
I
and
know.
buying a bulk bag of
Yeah, but no,
chips.
think of this now with all the fucking gluten-free kids and bullshit, dude. Like you can't get Lay's chips.
All the gluten-free.
You'd have to
kids.
buy like free range, cageless potato chips. Like it'd be so
Yeah.
stupid.
like imported from like Guam or some shit.
Guam?
Yeah.
That's what you think.
Yeah. All right. Another pop. Cherry Pepsi.
Oh, can I do the diet card again?
Yeah.
Love cherry Pepsi. It's unfortunate because in the U.S. They took out the good sweeteners in the Pepsis. It doesn't taste as well.
Mhm.
But that's a different thing. Cherry Pepsi's great, underrated.
Are they bringing back like throwback Pepsi? I saw a Pepsi bottle the other day with the white label and the old logo.
I don't know. I saw
Or
they were
are
in the
they
Super
like
Bowl
doing
commercial.
like are they doing like an old new logo?
It's probably just like that for now or something.
I'm not a pop guy, so I'm not really the one to ask in this question.
You never had cherry Pepsi though?
No, I have. I just don't drink any form of pop unless it's mixed with alcohol. So
You didn't as a kid? Like you can't
No,
remember
no.
call back?
that's why my diet's always been really bad in terms of eating, but I've always just drank water, and now it's just water and
Well,
coffee.
pop's a killer. I mean, if your mom was gonna let you like eat anything, like as long as pop isn't involved, that's
Mhm.
probably good. Yeah, it's terrible. But cherry Pepsi, like the original, like pumped with a bunch of sugar.
Oh yeah.
Cherry Pepsi is like amazing, but the new cherry Pepsi is overrated. Cherry Coke is way better because it still has all that
Yeah.
sugar in it. Like I love going to like places with those freestyle Coke machines and getting the cherry Coke in that because it is just gross how like sugary and stuff it is because it's like it's so unhealthy. But now I'm talking about cherry Coke.
Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, underrated. We're going with that.
Yes.
All right. My next one. In the South China Sea, there is a U.S. island territory. It's called Guam. It's currently under threat of North Korea. They've been threatening to attack Guam or bomb Guam. What do you guys think of Guam? Talking about Guam.
Guam's underrated. I feel like it's a very funny name for a country, and I want to bring it back into relevance by making fun of Guam.
I know nothing about Guam.
I hope North Korea takes action against them so we could make North Korea fucking glow in the dark.
Apparently,
So underrated.
breaking news this morning, Kim Jong Un is like talking to the leader of South Korea, and there's an expected alliance coming.
Fucking thank God.
That's cool.
Fuck
Yeah,
that
but
guy.
like the Olympics are happening over there. I feel like this might just be temporary, but I don't know. We'll see. I hope for peace.
The driest month in Guam is March.
Ooh, We're coming up on Guam's driest month then.
Yeah, that's all I got on Guam, Dan.
All right.
What's yours? Next one.
Guam was actually
It was not on the list. I added it after you said Guam.
Parmesan garlic wings.
Those are you can't have a lot of them, but the right amount, they're delicious. You can't have a full order of them. If you have a
No.
full order, it's overrated, but
Yeah.
just like 2 or 3, fantastic.
Every once in a while in an episode, we come up with the ones that like no one hates it, so it's like rated. Like people love those, right? I've never heard anyone say
I have
those
the
stink.
fucking sauce in my cabinet.
Well-
I made the wings the other
good.
week. Yeah.
Let me put it in this context because this is why I'm going to say they're underrated. Is like when people go to wing places, like top 2 wing sauce orders are probably buffalo and barbecue.
Yeah.
If you want a good switch up, dude, Parmesan garlic is amazing, and that's why it's underrated. Like if you want something that's not barbecue or buffalo, like go Parmesan garlic because
Yeah.
it's so good.
Are you saying a
You're right.
small order of it? Or like can you do a whole order of Parmesan?
I could probably do a whole order, but I feel worse after eating a shitload of Parmesan garlic wings than I do buffalo
sense.
wings or barbecue wings. So, like, yes, be wary of how many you order, but they're really good.
Yeah.
Those buffalo garlic wings at Legends
Those
are
are
to
a
die
tall
for.
order. Those are heavy.
Those are good.
Yeah. Well, it is. You guys are so right on the large quantity because the last thing you want to have too much of is cheese and garlic.
Yeah.
Like you got to go light on that. But you're so right. Like people don't think of it enough. It's a
Yeah.
great flavor.
Because
Sure.
I feel like it's on every, like wing menu,
Yeah.
you know? Like, it's always there.
So how do we got on that?
I just realized how I can make buffalo garlic sauce.
I, like, want to get Parmesan garlic wings now. Actually, I'm very hungry.
Our next one, theme parks in general, not a specific one, just theme parks. I'm talking rides. I'm talking Disneylands. I'm talking Universal, Six Flags, all that.
Because of the
SeaWorld.
amount of people that go, it's overrated. They're
Yeah.
so fun, but I don't want to stand in fucking line the
Yeah.
whole time. It gets to be a headache.
Yeah, and you know,
They're
like
fun as
they're
a kid.
they're awesome. I mean, like I went to Universal Studios this past summer and did the Harry Potter stuff, like rode roller coasters, and it's fun. But me and my uncle had to buy those flash passes to have that much fun. If we're sitting around waiting in lines and like behind like snotty kids and stuff like that, like then they're complete. But like they're overrated because there are just so many people there. But in terms of fun, you still have fun when you go. But like honestly, they do these flash passes and like it's like they're so expensive, but they're so worth it. But the fact that you have to get those to kind of like put your fun level to the maximum and not have to wait, like, you know, that's just money making
Yeah.
right there.
The people are the worst part about theme parks, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're so right with the snotty kids and stuff, and the food is always kind of too expensive and trashy, but not trashy.
And there's
but
always
just,
that
like, not great.
family that has like
Overpriced.
Yes.
there's always that family that has a bunch of shit and like they get onto the roller coaster and they take up like 3 of those little lockers that you
Yeah.
can put your shoes on when you're going onto the ride. And like dude, I hate putting like my shoes in like my bag and those like
Ugh, yeah.
like whenever you go to a theme park, like you got to bring those cargo shorts, man. And you just got to make sure your stuff stays in your pockets that way because I would rather be at my own risk of like having my phone fall out of my pocket in the roller coaster than like put it in some shady locker where somebody can take it.
hmm
What?
I was just thinking of Bill O'Reilly going, "Fuck it, we'll do it live."
Right. What's your
This is my last one, and we got into it, I think, last week's episode. It made me think of it. Dwayne Johnson.
underrated?
Underrated.
His movies are overrated, but him himself, he's so awesome. Look at what he's done. He went from being a kid who was bullied to playing college football to becoming a WWE superstar to taking Hollywood over. He's the shit, and he has a great smile.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's the best person on the planet. Like, he's underrated. Like, but like I said, like, yeah, I agree with Mike. Like, his movies are overrated. But like I said, like, I want to see him win an Oscar. Like, because this guy deserves everything. So like I want to see him like do better roles and not these like paraplegic
Jungle.
movies where he's jumping off from buildings and
Paraplegic movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the it's called Skyscraper. Can you believe that's the title?
Oh.
It's
It looks terrible. Right.
Paraplegic movies. Like it's more than one.
I don't know. All right, I've got like 6 more. Can I just like rapid fire?
Can I go to the bathroom really quick?
Yeah.
You could do it with Mike or something.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
rapid
because
fire
these
'em.
next few are kind of like dumb, so you can miss out on a few of them.
All right.
All right, like mascots, like team mascots.
They're overrated.
Yeah,
A lot of them stink.
except for Benny the Bull.
Benny's hung. Philly Fanatics awesome.
The Philly
Green guy's better.
The Philly Frenetic. Even
Green
because
guy's
they
better.
can't say fanatic.
or
but
Green Man.
Green Man, yeah, definitely better. But yeah, mascots are overrated.
Like Staley sucks. The Bears mascot.
Dude, and the Cubs just got a stupid one too a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't need a mascot. They didn't have one for 100 years. Like, why do one now? Like, yeah, they're kind of stupid. Like some of them are really cool. Like a Phoenix Suns gorilla, Benny the Bull. Like, but there aren't a lot of cool. There are more dumb ones than cool ones. And to rhyme with mascots, ascots. Little like scarves. Like
I don't fucking give a
like
shit.
like Freddy from Scooby Doo wears ascots.
They're gay.
Ryan ascots.
Ascots?
Yeah.
I'm glad they're gone. They look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The video game Overwatch.
You know what? Watching it was cool. I haven't played
It's
it
really
enough.
fun.
I've played it more than once, and I think it's overrated. Like I just never got into it,
I feel
and
that.
like I feel like it's just like way overhyped for what it is.
Fair.
Bugles, like like the stupid chips that
Those
you
things
can put.
suck.
Dude, I like them. No, I like them.
Those suck.
I like them.
Big time overrated. Whoever makes them is overrated. That whole that's not what I was saying. The whole factory was gonna shut down. Like the Bugles it shouldn't be on shelves.
I used
tastes
to
like
put
glue.
them. I used to put them on my fingers and eat them off.
That's what everybody does. That's the funnest part.
Yeah, they're stupid.
They're dumb chips. Is that all you had?
2 more. Kiss cams at sporting events.
Stupid. I don't give a shit.
That's a lot of pressure.
Overrated.
It's fun when they catch the people that aren't like there as like if it's a brother and sister, the guy'll just go like no
Yeah.
when he cuts off at his neck. Visual comedy. Can't do it on the podcast.
Yeah, overrated. They're a lot of pressure. You can get caught with your side person at
Oh,
a game. Like you can get caught like I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing. Like if you if you're not like madly in love and like so you like take a girl on a date and it's like your 3rd date and you're like at a game and like you it could be your first kiss with this girl and it's got to be in front of 30,000 people.
It's a lot of pressure.
I know. That sucks. Overrated.
They should have the lick cam where people just lick each other's faces.
That'd be a good switch up.
Someone get Mike to the offices. They got to talk about this.
Yeah. All right, last one. Reaction videos.
Those are dumb.
Yeah.
The last thing I desire is to see what someone else thinks about like something live. It's so dumb. I hate it. I never watch them.
Yeah. They're completely overrated. But if you want to see a reaction video, if you want to see, this is the whole reason why I put this on here. So
Yeah.
if you want to see a reaction video, go to my YouTube page, DAVMAC 123456789 to see my reaction video of the 2 brand new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers. And that is underrated, overrated. We're going to end off there. Please let us know what you think of some of the underrated, overrated topics. Let me know what you think about my YouTube video. You can comment on that video. Reaction videos are overrated, but mine is not. So go check it out.
You know, I hope the people that upload those know that they're fucking sellouts and do not deserve it. I just am. I just.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah, if you have any underrated, overrated topics yourselves that you want to tell us, or if you just want to answer to those ones that we've talked about today, let us know. But let's get into our movie review.
we're gonna get into the movie review because we saw a movie this week. We saw Lady Bird, directed by Greta Gerwig. It stars Saoirse Ronan, Laurie Metcalf, and Tracy Letts.
Don't forget about Caitlin Olsen.
And Caitlin Olsen, who is Dee Reynolds, who is a bird. And that
He's
is
a
why-
bird.
And
I'm
Dee's a
sorry.
bird. You tripped me up there because I forgot who Caitlin Olsen was. In 2002, an artistically inclined 17-year-old girl comes of age in Sacramento, California. So obviously, by the description, this is a coming-of-age film, and
Oh, is it?
yeah, in Sacramento, California. And let's jump right into the positives. What do you guys like about this?
I loved you guys will probably talk about the performances. I loved the tone of this movie. It was a movie about weird people and it had a quirky tone of itself. Like there were scenes that were in there that were just like, well, that was fucking weird. And that was the point of it's just like her walking down the street and she starts screaming. Like I found it really quirky and unique. And that was my favorite part throughout is the tone because I was never bored. And it was an interesting way to do a coming of age story. And Saoirse Ronan and Laurie Metcalf have both been nominated for Oscars, I think, deservedly so. And it was just a really cool movie, and I enjoyed it. I could see why it's getting a lot of Oscar hype. I wasn't in love with it, but I thought it was quirky and it was a fun watch. So yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I was kind of shocked at how much I did enjoy it. Like, I was just thinking it was going to be like this artsy fartsy, like, Oscar movie that everybody's talking about. But then, like, getting to watch it, like, I really enjoyed it. The performances, like, the directing, like, everything was just very well done. It was an odd movie about odd people. And it like, you know, it was just able, like, you were able to care about the characters. Like, there were emotional parts of it, there were funny parts of it. Like, it was really well done. And the show, her coming of age and her, like, relationship with her mother and everything like that, like, the movie made me want to text my mom after and say, like, I love you, Mom. Like, it was like, in that aspect, it was like awesome, you know, like, it made you feel something. I mean, I don't know if you guys did, but for me it did, and I really enjoyed it for that. And that's on part of, like, the actors' performances and the directing, because it was paced well. I thought, like, it told a really good hour and a half story, and it put you there, took you out, and it was just an enjoyable watch for the time that it was on.
I also remembered too, it has a very accurate portrayal of anxiety that exists in high school.
It was certainly a teen angst film. Like, there were parts of it where I'm just like, this is an homage to Rebel Without a Cause. Like, but it's just a teen movie that takes place 50 years later.
Yeah.
Like, it was really just cool in that aspect. Like, it's just teen angst. Teens just kind of feel the same about their relationships with their parents in high school and everything, like, way after time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys agree, but it was kind of like several times throughout Spider-Man: Homecoming. Did you ever kind of think like, "Oh wow, that's actually kind of how high schoolers are"?
Yeah, that's what I was
and
It was
that-
a little more hyper realized in Homecoming, but like the movie very much was that kind of idea throughout the whole film. Everyone was totally accurate as to how like weird and stupid high school interactions are because we don't know who we are, we don't know how we're supposed to act. And that was probably my biggest positive, is that it felt genuinely like that time in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Like that first encounter between Saoirse Ronan and Lucas Hedges' character where they're just saying really bizarre things to each other. And it's like, yeah, this is how it happens in high school when you awkwardly are trying to hit on somebody. And I thought that was really funny.
That's like, I mean, the movie takes place in 2002, but I thought it captured like a 50s high school movie. Yeah, almost. Like I said, like similar to like Rebel Without a Cause, but captured that teen angst. And then like Spider-Man: Homecoming captured like an 80s high school movie, like John Hughes. I think we talked about how Spider-Man was like similar to it. It was like as if John Hughes did a superhero movie. And like I kind of like that, how there are like callbacks, but really it just shows that like teenagers are always the same. You know, like if they have difficulty with like the people raising them, they have difficulty with their friends and the like social hierarchies of high school, and it's torture. It's it's utter torture, and like this movie captured that, and so did Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yeah.
Mhm.
The most like difficult part of like growing up in high school was figuring out who you're trying to be, and that's like for the most part what Lady Bird was trying to do. Lady Bird being the protagonist, which you don't find out until you watch the movie, but
Her name is Christine.
She
yes.
calls herself Lady Bird.
Yeah.
But negatives? You guys ready?
Did they ever say why?
No,
No,
not once.
she's just fucking weird. Negatives. The movie doesn't have a lot of negatives per se. The story's very tight, and I think it is very much reliant on from the beginning of the movie if you can get into it or not. If you can get into the story from the beginning, you're gonna enjoy the movie. If you don't, then you probably won't. And I was always entertained throughout. So again, not a lot of negatives, but the one that stood out to me is a couple of scenes between Saoirse Ronan and Laurie Metcalf. A lot of the times, their interactions compared to everyone else, I thought were a bit over dramatic, and every other relationship that was developed was very subtle. And with them, it just for a lot of times just turned into screaming matches, and I was like, I get it, and they just kept doing it, and I thought it was repetitive at some points.
I honestly don't have negatives, but to like, because like you said, I mean, like it's a quick hour and a half. Like it's a quick watch, and it's good from start to finish. But I agree with you in that aspect with the scenes with Saoirse Ronan and Laurie Metcalf. Like some of them just felt like those Oscar clips they showed before they're about to present like the best picture. So. And some of them did feel like that, but I guess that's just because it's a good movie. But like, yeah, like Laurie Metcalf and Saoirse Ronan both got nominated. We like get that, and clearly those scenes were kind of just like made for them to make that kind of push. I feel like, but then again, I don't know, and really that's a nitpick because this movie was really good and I really enjoyed it.
You guys both touched on it. The struggles between Lady Bird and her mom never were fully realized or explained too well, at least while I was watching it. I didn't understand why the mom was so angry and had such a rush upon like self-respect and money. Like all of the issues the mother had didn't really seem entirely fleshed out. And if they were going to explain it better, they should have spent more time explaining why she's like that. And that was the only thing I didn't like. It's just like you got into the overly dramatic arguments, like Mike said, and it just was like, oh, why is this so hard for her? But yeah,
I think they did though. I like they put her in a Catholic school because they couldn't trust the public school. Catholic school is expensive. The dad loses his job and she has to work like overnight shifts at the hospital. So like I kind of get where she's like coming from. I thought that was just kind of like it's kind of like off-screen explaining, but like through several of their arguments like she's just like you can't keep doing this, like you know why you can't go to the public school. So like I thought it was just kind of like I agree with you. It could have been like more explained, but like the explaining it subtly is more of the fact that they're putting you in her like senior year of high school, and like all of that stuff kind of happened off screen.
yeah.
So
that
they
makes
just kind of
sense.
have to explain it in passing.
That makes more sense. It was just like how stubborn she was. I guess that's maybe just her character, but I wanted a little more closure as to like why she's more stubborn. But you're right.
I'll also say too, besides what happens with Lucas Hedges' character, most of the plot plays out pretty predictably, I thought. I could see where it was going to go. For about an act in, I knew all the pieces to the puzzle. But
Yeah, I guess, but it didn't make it any less enjoyable.
no, with a movie like
Yeah.
this, it doesn't need to be overly complex. It's just a simple story. But I just thought that the path from point A to point B was a bit obvious. But again, that's just nitpicking. It's not a flawed movie, really.
The characters were a lot more interesting than the plot, anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. Done here?
Rating it? Yeah.
Yeah. What's the score?
It was said that it's just an easy movie to rate. I'm going. I'll go 4.1. And that might still be like an early score, like, because we only did just watch it yesterday. But I feel pretty confident in that. Like, I really enjoyed this movie. It was really good. Like, I don't think it's overhyped at all. Like, I really did enjoy it. And I think 4.1 is solid. But, you know, that could be around like a 4 or like a 3.9.
I'm going with a 3.5. I thought it was good. Wasn't in love with it, but I think it's a very strong movie, and I could see why some people loved it.
I'm going in at a 4. It was really fun. Like it's if it resonates with you, then you really got it was a fun time, and it's a bite-sized movie. So yeah, that brings us at a mean score of 3.8.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
about
a good
right.
movie.
Yeah.
Check it out if you can. We had to illegally stream it because it was not in theaters,
We did.
Right.
which is
Hey, it's
Hey,
not our
but
fault.
next week we can go back to the theater and see Black Panther because that's next week.
that's right.
The hype.
Ooh, yeah.
The hype is real.
Big time.
98% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
So
Clocking
excited.
high.
Yeah.
Ryan, introduce us to our topic.
Sure. Our main topic this week, I was a little bit inspired by Lady Bird because the main character of the film is still figuring herself out and doesn't really know everything about life, and sometimes got a little stubborn thinking she knew everything that life is about. And so I wanted to kind of talk today about when we were younger and times that you were wrong. So like I was wondering like for an event or an attitude you had that you were wrong about when you were growing up. What were you wrong about when you were growing up?
I could immediately think of one. Like as soon as you asked that question, like it popped into my head. Like because I think about it all the time. In high school, I mean, I like to think that I'm still pretty outgoing. I'm still like friendly to people and stuff like that. But in high school, it was like to the nth degree. You know, like I was going around shaking everybody's hands, like felt like I was friends with everybody. And in the real world, that's just not true. Like high school was just a fantasy land, and I had a good time in high school because I felt like that I was friends with everybody. I could like go and talk to anybody, and that's just not the case. Like for the longest time, I had like way too much like trust in people and everything like that, thinking that everybody's gonna be nice. But like in college, like I was just slapped with like no, like not everybody's nice, not everybody's gonna like you, and it took for me to be in college to understand that because in high school I didn't learn that at all, and that's something I'd like tell myself. And I've turned definitely more into a cynic since I've come into college. But like honestly, like I'm glad I did because like not everybody is going to like you, and you can't please everybody. Not everybody's gonna be your friend, and so like that doesn't mean like I don't want to like try to be nice to people. It's not like I'm gonna just like I hate everybody. Not everybody's gonna be nice. So why would I be nice? Like that's not what I am.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm a little bit more closed doors now than I used to be, and I think it's for good reason. I think that it's good. I mean, you should be outgoing. You should be whatever, but understand that you can't please anybody. And I wish that was something I knew earlier. But I'm glad I learned it rather quickly after high school.
Mike, you had a really good quote about that kind of thing that you said like a few times about how if everyone likes you, you know that one.
If everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally true. Because like there's no way everyone could. There's a reason why like people listen to different music. Not everyone has the same taste like that. So you were very much of the mind that I can make everyone like me.
Yeah, and there was like there was always like I learned because there was like somebody who that I met in college who disliked me for every single reason that my friends like me. Just disagreed on everything like in life. So it kind of taught me that, and I'm just glad I learned a lesson. Like
That's good.
I don't regret like high school at all, but it would have been cooler to like learn that lesson earlier.
But you did learn it at
Right.
least. Like you could say that much.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And you probably got sick a lot from shaking everybody's hands.
Actually, I didn't.
Oh yeah, your immune system is
I have
probably
a-
like iron.
I have a very strong immune system.
That's it. That's cool though. What about you, Mike?
So I have the privilege of coming from a very good household, and I always thought growing up everybody's life experiences were the same of mine. I've coming from a family who, my parents do well for themselves and very cordial household. And I thought that's how the world was. I thought it was a place of peace and a place of harmony. And probably halfway through high school, I just thought that's how everyone was. And then towards the end, when I started to get into politics and actually pay attention to something outside of myself, I started to realize that the world is a pretty fucked up place, and that a lot of people, especially coming here, and you hear about the stuff that people have gone through just to get to this point in their lives. It's pretty insane of how different. Even Dan, everyone's life experiences and households is just really different, and I was so wrong about that growing up, to where I just thought every household was like mine, and it made me all the more um, eh, happy of where I came from, and how well off like my whole household has been and experience has been as a whole. So I'm very fortunate to where come from, and that has kind of coming here in the end of high school has kind of made me realize that it's
Could
more part of maturity.
could you elaborate a little more on like the differences you found?
It was just the differences in terms of like people.
Yeah, like what you saw it like harmony and you thought people were
Well, I thought
of the
that
same
it was
mind.
it
What
was
did you notice?
the world was a place of like peace and everybody getting along. I thought everyone can just live happy with their wages and this and that. I had no concept of the world as itself in terms of hardships. I was just so
Mm,
blind to it. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know you come here and you totally learn that racism is still a thing in some areas of the world. Where we come from, that's non-existent.
yeah.
And so it's you just learn a lot more about the world as you go, and it unfortunately has turned me into a kind of a cynic. So
Both of
because
you guys have come out of this saying, I'm cynical
well,
now.
because it's just because of how
It's
fucked up the world is
Yeah.
as a
cy-
whole, and I was so oblivious to it for a long time.
Mm,
cynical doesn't always mean like a negative outlook. It's like more like a realism type of
That's
cynicism.
how I've always said it.
It's like
yeah.
it's just having a wider lens, just understanding, you know, like the real world, and it's not a bad thing to be a little bit of a cynic if there's realism involved in it.
It's like that makes sense. I would say like from my perspective on you guys, because you guys still have like hope and like have goodwill toward the world. I think like you guys are more just aware that there is shit. But I like you never just look at things through a bad lens all the time. You guys are still like very good and
Hmm.
hopeful people. So like cynical does work, but like
Re-
that's a
I,
sharp
I
angle to take.
realistic too. I
Yeah.
always like to use that
Yeah.
form. You know. So yeah, but that's mine. Is definitely is like I just grew up thinking everyone had the same life experiences, and then you learn about things like the inner city of Chicago and just a whole wide range of America. Even in the South, a lot of people, it's everyone's experience is different and it shapes them, and you got to take that into account when you're meeting
Hmm.
people as well.
Isn't it a gut check when like you think you've had hard times and then you hear about like like even in our circles like we've all had different life experiences that are hard
Yeah.
for one reason or
Right.
another. There's other aspects of life that like some of us have been riding the gravy train on. Like
Hmm.
everyone's different, and it's you don't even realize it because you've been told it your whole life that everyone's different and you have to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, but it takes a lot to realize that.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, I mean like there's always a point, like it's happened so often where it's just like I've got 3 papers due in like 2 days, and like I feel like I'm never gonna get it done. I just want to like break down and just like cry and be mad. But like, dude, people have been through so much worse. Like people have been through so much worse, and it's just like, and a lot of the times where you feel like your life is about to be over, like people kind of have to learn to relax a little bit. I mean, like, don't. I mean, exceed expectations and like your own performances, but understand that like it's not everything is the end of the world,
Yeah,
unless it is. And I don't know.
then it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What's yours, right?
um I until the back end of high school was really wrong about like priorities and what was important for like the majority of life, I was like, the most important things were really just like making people laugh in order to be liked. Mostly because like I didn't have it was like a lot of in conjunction with like being an overweight kid and stuff like that was all I felt I had to offer was being like the funny kid. And so I threw all my energy into making people laugh and at any expense. So what it really did in the most harmful way was kept me out of paying attention in school because that was one of the primary avenues of like that I tried to make people laugh in. And so in class I wasn't paying attention as much. And then at the tail end of high school, you realize, oh my God, I should have been paying attention. This is very essential. And so realizing that I neglected school so much was a big realization to find out that, wow, you should not have been wasting your time with this because what was any of those little laughs worth in the grand scheme of things? So my priorities have shifted and I've gotten a little more serious on other things in life than just that. But that was definitely the biggest mistake that
Yeah,
I was wrong about.
I see where you're coming from. Like when you hear people talking about, oh, remember when we learned this? And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of important. That's something like, and that's just speaking broadly. But there's some things you miss out on. You're like, wow, I should have been paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we all learned these lessons like in high school too. That just shows like high school, the teen angst, man. I mean, it's just like Lady Bird, just like Spider-Man, just like Rebel Without a Cause, just like Ferris Bueller. Like it's always high school. It's just fantasy land. Like it's not real life.
Mm-hmm.
So you make me laugh, right?
Thanks, Dan.
You shouldn't. I mean, like I'm glad you got your priorities straight, but like I feel like just looking back at high school, like. I remember a lot more stuff that I like laughed at than stuff that I like learned in the classroom.
Yeah. It was just like.
But like you were structuring your life around like going for me laughing.
Yeah.
Or like
Like
other
it,
people laughing.
yeah,
not
like
just
that
me.
was. It was more about like the being liked than it was let's work on school is important.
Yeah.
So that was like the grand mistake of things. But it seems okay now, so that's
Yeah.
fine. But the biggest like takeaway out of this discussion, like some people think that they're done, they've got it all figured out even now. Like just like how we did in high school.
Yeah.
We're not done learning, and even adults, even our parents, they're not done learning.
No.
And we've always got to be open to more experiences like that to take things away from.
Big Jim Stewart line incoming. Life doesn't come with a manual. Nobody ever tells you what to do, and people really can't tell you how to do it, but you just got to do the best you can with whatever opportunities you're given. Shout out Jim Stewart. This guy.
And that is this week's podcast. Any final thoughts?
If you want to like let us know about some lesson you learned, because we just got really deep.
Yeah.
We did. Glad we all learned our lessons. So if you want to share a lesson you learned, do it, and then subscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe, so we can get 2 subscriptions. Check out my reaction video. It's probably overrated, but that'd be cool. And we love you guys, and we're seeing Black Panther next week.
Mike, you got anything?
I do not.
All right. Remember that each and every Monday morning we upload to YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Give us a follow on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with what we're putting out there. And as always, thank you for listening.
Love you guys.
What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us.